Sally Jane is from Serpentine in Western Australia, and she has crossed the Nullarbor Plain 11 times to play the east coast of Australia. Last year, she released two singles. She's also released an EP in the past. And this year, she has the new single, 2 Feet. So I'm going to ask her about it. Hello, Sally.
Hello, thanks so much for having me.
It's great to have you on. And I have been aware of your singles coming out. And I know you had that EP, I think, in 2022. And I'm going to start with the new single, 2 Feet, which you wrote a while ago, I believe, but it's taken you a few years to record and release it. And I'm wondering why you felt now would be the right time for it.
Yeah, I honestly feel like there's no better time for this song to come out. I mean, even if you don't watch the news, you definitely hear things and see things going on in the world. So I'm really impressed that I got it at a good time to release this positive song and yeah, try and get some positivity in the world.
So, how long ago did you write it?
I want to say at least 2 years ago. I've definitely been a bit slack when it comes to the recording side, but also I just really felt like I wasn't ready to record. I mean, my vocals are still growing. Female vocals don't stop until they're 30. We mature, which has still got time to get a better set of vocals behind me. But I also, yeah, just didn't feel ready to set foot in the studio until now.
I didn't actually know that about female
Yeah.
vocals. Right, okay. So that must be interesting for you as an artist and a performing artist to almost witness that, I guess, because you can hear it, of course, in your vocals. And I can hear that your vocals are different from 2022 than they are now.
Definitely. I feel like every year I feel like I get a lot stronger vocally. So I am really excited to not wish my life away, but I'm excited to when I am 30 and a little bit older, what my voice will sound like and the maturity that comes from it.
I like you saying that that you've been slack, not recording it. I don't know that slack is quite what I'd say given some of the things I've read about you. But anyway, now the opening line of the song is "I should have listened to mum and dad." I'm wondering if there was one piece of advice in particular from your parents that sparked that line.
Probably a lot to be honest. I mean, the more as I get older, I say that line a lot. I should have
All
listened
right.
to mum and dad in a lot of situations, minor and major situations. So that was actually the line that first kicked off the song. I honestly can't remember what I should have listened to mum and dad about, but I can guarantee that they were right. And that's how the whole song evolved.
I'm sure they enjoy knowing that you feel that way.
Definitely. When I first wrote the song, my dad was, yeah, that's my favorite song that you've written so far, and I don't think any song can top that.
Oh, that's a tough call. But I was also interested because you've traveled and toured a lot, and it seems as though you have been standing on your own 2 feet for a while.
Yeah, I mean, next month I'm 24, so I'm definitely getting older and getting more mature, but I'm also, I mean, I'm still living at home. I can't afford to move out, especially as an independent musician at the moment. So I'm in that stage of still relying on my parents and support and their love and also really wanting to branch out on my own and be an adult and be independent. It's a really confusing time as a young person.
Look, it is because you're in a system that is not of your creation, where I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole here, but there's a lot of property being held by people, like multiple properties. A couple of generations ago, that wouldn't have been a case, and you would have been able to get a house and all those sorts of things. And it's the system's kind of rigged, I think, against young people, and there is no real avenue for an artist of any kind, whether it's music, visual arts, writing books, whatever it is, to make a go of it. Even in country towns, I think it's tough. Yeah, I know a lot of artists will live in country towns because it's cheaper, and they can pursue their art that way. But yeah, I think if your parents are happy to have you and you're happy to be there, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an only child, so I'm the best and the worst child some days. So I'll definitely take it for as long as I can.
Yeah. Um, well, only children, it could be good and bad, I guess. Everything's on you, but also everything's on you, like it's
Definitely.
so as you were growing up, at what stage did you decide that you were going to start? Either was it singing first, guitar first? What happened?
It was definitely guitar first, but in saying that though, I was a talkaholic and a singaholic. I would always sing around the house. My parents used to send me to the back of the paddock to pick up sticks and sing to the horses and the neighbors' horses because I just would not stop. Um, and I learnt guitar starting at the age of 12 and have grown since then. And my parents thought I sounded half decent when I was 15. So we went to the local pub and they wanted a singer for the night. So I was like, sure, I'll jump up and sing a few songs. And it just kind of went from there. We found the Tamworth Academy Juniors probably a week later from my first pub gig. And I miraculously got accepted within like 3 days of the deadline closing. And it's just kind of snowballed in a good way from there.
So yeah, junior academy is a particular environment. It's different to senior academy. It requires a parent or guardian to go with you. So which of your parents was it?
Definitely my dad. My dad came with me. He's the dadager, which I'm trying to trademark, but he's not too keen on that one yet. But no, he actually quit work, which is really cool thing for him to do. He quit work so he could help me out full time, and now he's my chauffeur, manager, chef, sometimes bouncer. He pretty much does everything apart from sing and play guitar on stage.
It's funny how in all the annals of the arts we have not heard the term dadager before.
Maybe I should try and trademark it. I think it's a good idea.
I think if you just keep mentioning it often enough, people will know it's yours. And it sounds like he's delighted to do it. That's the other thing.
Oh, he definitely is. He is the most underpaid but hardest working roadie I've ever met.
Or is he musical? Is your mum musical? Is that where this talent has come from?
No, not really. I mean, my mum can play the piano and the flute. She used to play when she was in school, but she hasn't picked it up in a while. So I might have to try and convince her to have a go with me, or even try and teach me piano as well. It's something I would love to learn. But I wouldn't say that I came from a musical family. We grew up on country music and have always listened to music, but no, have never played.
So when you were singing to the horses and picking up sticks, which songs were you singing?
Oh, a lot of Casey Chambers and a lot of Toby Keith.
Okay. Can you remember your introduction to Casey Chambers? Like which song it might have been, or which album?
Yeah, it was definitely her Barricades and Brick Wall album was the first one. We used to go on long trips up north on school holidays. So as soon as the radio cut out, it was straight onto the CDs, and that was yeah, probably the first album.
Pretty much everyone I know from WA is experienced on the long trips. And what interests me is that it would be easier just to hang wherever you are, Perth people in Perth, Margaret River people in Margaret River, Broome people in Broome, but everyone seems to get in the car at some stage.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's so normal. I grew up going on holidays up north, down south, or even out to the Goldfields a few times, and everywhere for us is at least an hour drive. So talking to people from the eastern states, I'm like, yeah, I crossed 3 states in one day, like no biggie. And yeah, some people, if you haven't experienced Western Australia, it's a lot bigger state than what it looks like on the map, that's for sure.
It's about a third of the country. If you look at the
Yeah.
map and look at the lines, it's like legitimately that's pretty much a third.
It's kind of insane. I mean, it takes us a whole day to drive from Serpentine to just the border, the South Australian border. So, yeah,
All
it's
right.
definitely a big trek.
Yes, indeed. So I would imagine on some of these long drives, you might have been conjuring some songs in your head, like doing a bit of writing, or was that the case, or did songwriting happen much later?
Yeah, it happened much later. It wasn't until I actually started doing pub gigs and little small town festivals around the countryside that I realized that maybe I should try writing a song. And I wrote my first song, You and I, in an hour, which was kind of cool to just sort of put that out there. And it sounded half decent at the time, and it's still getting played on Spotify. So I assume that people are still loving the song. So it's kind of cool to see where I started at sort of like 16, 17 writing songs to now.
Yeah. When you mentioned that you started playing pub gigs at 15, it does surprise me how many artists were performing in pubs underage, basically.
Yeah.
You're thinking, how many children are out there playing in pubs?
Yeah. I mean, for Western Australia, from what I know, we don't have a lot of those like laws and regulations, especially with all the pokies and stuff that are in the eastern states. So, yeah, going to a pub underage is not a strange thing for us. So a lot of pubs over here are really family friendly and really lovely. So it's just kind of like going out with your family and your friends.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when you went to the junior academy, was that your first experience of co-writing? Because I know that there are co-writes that happen there with the songwriting tutors and mentors.
Yeah, yeah, first time ever co-writing, and I wrote a couple of songs with some of the other kids that went as well. We never really recorded or kind of finished them, but my first full proper co-write, I guess you could say, was with Alan Caswell, and I co-wrote Beersheba with him, which was an amazing experience. I had the idea of writing the song. It was the 100th anniversary of the charge of the Light Horse at Beersheba in 2017. So it was great timing to go to the academy and meet him and write the song.
So are you interested in history? Because are you and or military history? Because I will mention you released Bombs and Bullets with Luke O'Shea last year, which is not unrelated to Beersheba.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested in history. I think it's always good to look back and see how far we've come, but also remember things in life and things that we have done as well. But my dad is ex-Navy, so he's a veteran. He served just under 25 years in the Royal Australian Navy. So we're definitely a really big military family and very passionate. And yeah, I really want to support our Australian veterans. That's definitely a goal that I have in my personal and my music career as well.
Hmm. So did you write Bombs and Bullets with Luke?
I did, yes. I went to the Dag a few years ago now, and it was actually a veteran that helped pay for me to attend. He was struggling really badly with like mental health and from his service, which is quite upsetting. And he's a lovely guy who doesn't want to be named because which is annoying because I just want to shout his name from the rooftop to say thank you. But I was telling him about the Dag one day, and a few weeks later he was like, "Pack your bags. I've already paid for it. Off you go." My mind was blown and head exploded kind of thing. So I really wanted to give back to him, but also to all veterans. So with the idea in mind, I got my name pulled out of the hat to write a song with Luke O'Shea, and yeah, it all just worked out.
Yeah, knowing Luke's catalog, I think he was exactly the right person to write that song with because he has the song Southeast Queensland, which some people will know. And I know he's also interested in honouring Defence Force personnel.
Yeah, it's something I'm definitely passionate about. And growing up in the veteran community as well, I mean, a lot of my social media followers and supporters are my dad's old mates that he served with, and they're always the first to jump on and comment, "Good job, keep going." And they've given me so much support. And without them, I would definitely not be as far in my career as I am now.
So the gentleman who financed that trip to the DAG for you, I would imagine he's pleased with the song.
Definitely, yeah. I'm so glad that I was able to write a song, not just for him, but for all veterans. I think they're yeah not appreciated enough, except for on Anzac and Remembrance Day. So I'm really glad that I could get a song out there for all veterans, all genders, all services, and all conflicts as well.
Yeah. Now, I also understand you also grew up listening to Slim Dusty,
Yeah.
which tells me a bit about your interest in storytelling, because I think, the Slim lineage, the Slim and Joy lineage, I should say, is very much about slices of Australian life. So do you think he was your earliest musical influence?
Yeah, I definitely grew up listening to a lot of Slim, and I think I base my music career kind of on his as well, unintentionally. But now that I look back and see all of the places and things that I've done, he's definitely a big inspiration and something that I definitely want to do further into my career. If I could get to a Casey Chambers level of an artist, I would love to do a similar trip to what he did and go out to smaller country towns and communities and give back and just provide music and have a good time to good people.
Well, you've already done a lot of traveling. I understand you quite recently spent 3 months touring from Perth to Darwin playing. So I'm guessing you went up the coast and then across.
Yeah, yeah. I've been as far as Kununurra was the furthest north I'd been, and I really wanted to get to Darwin. It was more of an ego thing, if I'm being completely honest. I've performed in every state and territory except for Darwin, so I really wanted to tick that box. And we got there earlier this year and did a few shows in Darwin, and then made our way back down as well. So I can add nationally touring to the bio.
Yeah, so you toured, so you played on the way up and also on the way back down. Did you do some different venues on the way back?
Yeah, definitely. I went out to Marble Bar, which is a really awesome place. A very, very small town, but I played at the Marble Bar races there, and I went back to Karratha and back to Exmouth and a few of my favorite spots on the way down as well.
Yeah, I remember I've been to Catherine in the Northern Territory a handful of times, and it always kind of blows my mind when I see that the because like you can take the bus from Darwin to Catherine, which I've done, and then the next stop is Kununurra. You just
Yeah.
think, is that not a very long way away to go on a bus?
It's very strange. I think from Kununurra to Catherine, it's only about 2, 3 hours. So,
Yeah.
yeah, not far at all.
It still just seems like WA shouldn't be that close, but obviously it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I guess what comes with traveling is knowledge and experience, which is why I love spending so much time on the road. It's definitely not the easiest of jobs to live in a rooftop tent for 3 to 4 months straight, but you also get to see a lot of things that a lot of people don't get to see. So I'm very lucky.
Yeah, absolutely true that you don't get to see a lot of you get to see a lot of things other people don't get to see, but also you must be so adaptable as a performer because you would be going into so many different environments. So is this, I guess, playing at 15 in pubs, that's a particular crowd that might sort of harden you, not harden you in a bad way, but you know what I mean, toughen your skin for things. But do you sort of approach every venue with a sense of openness, I guess?
Yeah, I think performing, especially across Australia, has definitely made me a lot more open-minded and a lot less judgmental than maybe what I would have been if I hadn't been in this role. So yeah, it's very cool to just rock up to a venue and this is what it's going to be like.
Yeah. Have you played, given that you've been camping, but have you played at campgrounds along the way?
Yeah, I've done a few caravan parks and also just on the side of the road where I have my name on the back of the caravan. So people are always wondering what is Sally Jane and who is Sally Jane. So it is kind of cool to get out my guitar sometimes at campsites and sing a few songs.
Have you had some songwriting inspiration from these travels or actual songs that you've written from things you've seen or heard?
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say I've written a song about being on the road, but a lot of my songs have started from just sitting in the passenger seat while dad's driving and honestly most of the time we've probably had a minor argument, so I've just gotten on my phone and instead of playing games, so I've thought of a song and started writing and I'm like, "Hey dad, what about this?" And that sort of breaks the ice and we start writing a song.
Yeah. Now, it seems there is quite a groundswell of country music going on in WA in terms of artists. I have quite, in the last few years, I've noticed more and more artists coming through, and they're not all in the one spot. So it's not like it's a Perth-based thing.
No.
So I'm wondering if you feel that you are part of a community of Western Australia country music artists.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I want to say yes, but even though we're so far apart, so I wouldn't see any country artists or any WA country artists until I get to Tamworth, if I'm being completely honest. We actually never catch up with each other apart from maybe if there's a conference or a networking session or a festival that a few of us are on. But I definitely want to say there is a community and there's definitely a big push for country music in WA and it's really cool to see even the young ones coming through that there's help and there's a lot of talent out there. I think WA is underestimated and we've got a lot of talent over here.
Absolutely. And it's not like it's all one sound either, that you're all kind of, because that can happen when it's one place, I guess. But as I said, you're not all in Perth. So
No. I think we're all extremely different, and I don't consider any other artists my competition. I hopefully consider a lot of artists my friends and people that I can connect with and ask questions with, but I think we're all on a different journey, and yeah, we're all trying to get to the same goal of making it and having success in the industry, but I think we're all doing it a very different way, and we all have a different sound, and there's enough room and enough work for everyone in the music industry. It just all depends on different levels and where you want to end up as well.
yeah. And look, I've completely forgotten the question I was going to ask. Oh no, it's not that. Boy Up.
Sorry.
I was going to mention Boy Up Brook Festival because I think you played there at least once, probably several times. I'm wondering if you think that that's perhaps part of this WA country music story, that that festival has enabled artists as they're developing to play and form connections that way.
Yeah, well, I'm on the committee for the Boyup Country
Ah,
Music Festival.
okay.
That's something that I wanted to be on for a few years, and now I kind of have a little bit of spare time and a chance to put my my 2 cents forward. And I really want to grow the West Australian country music genre. Like we are underestimated in the eastern states, and I think when we do go east, people are like, "Wow, WA is actually really cool." So being with Boy Out Brook, yeah, I definitely want to grow that more. And we do have a country music club, and it's just a matter of yeah, trying to find more country artists and get them all together and put them on the lineup at the festival. And it's all about support, really. If we all support each other, I think we can all help each other level up.
Because I think you've appeared on a song of Joe Carrier's, a band from
Yeah,
Roman, who I think are terrific, and it's probably they probably would be better known if they were in the eastern states. It's just the logistics of trying to get yourself known are so hard.
for sure. I definitely see a lot of opportunities and festivals that I could apply for, and I'm like, damn, I'm already booked for something over in WA, or it's too far to try and grab, or just because I wasn't there in the right place at the right time, I'm like, oh, might have gotten that opportunity. So it definitely has a downfall of being so far away, but I think that also just makes me work a little bit harder and want it just a little bit more.
Right. Well, you certainly haven't let the distance stop you because you have been, as I said, over the Nullarbor Plain 11 times. Now, you do have some shows coming up in WA, I think, and it looks like they are fairly widespread again.
Yes, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm performing at Regfest again, which I did their very first one in Mandurah a few years ago. So I'm super excited to be back on the main stage and with the Sunny Cowgirls again, but also Brad Cox and Haley Jensen and Taylor Moss. I'm a huge Taylor Moss fan, so I'm definitely preparing myself to try not and fangirl when I see and meet her backstage. But also a few local country festivals, Wandering Camp Out. I've been there for a few years now and they're absolutely awesome. Each year I've seen the festival grow bigger and better each year, so I can't wait to get back on the stage there too.
And do you have some Tamworth plans?
I do. I actually was just emailing a few venues and people before we jumped on the call. So I'm super excited. We're coming back to Tamworth. Of course, we're driving again. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
So I'm guessing you'll be at one of the campgrounds.
Yes, definitely. We always camp at Riverside. It's
Okay.
probably the easiest, but also the cheapest. It's definitely tough traveling across the Nullarbor. The fuel at $3 something a litre is not the cheapest. So we just camp and it's really cool. We were talking about community. I feel like the Riverside area is such a big community. Every year we camp in a similar spot and we always see the same people and catch up with our friends and musos and even just people that we met across the road last time and oh we'll see you
Mm.
next year and it's just growing each time.
So I'm curious when you drive to Tamworth. This is not a music question. This is a logistical question. Do you actually go into SA and up to Broken Hill and across, or do you take the coast to go around?
Do you know every time we've gone to Tamworth and gone home we've gone a different way. So when people ask, "Oh, what way do you come?" I'm like, "I just came from the west."
Right. Which
I
is true.
really, I really don't know. I sort of leave the logistics to Dad. I mean, he
Right.
has like a diploma in logistics and all that fancy stuff from back in the Navy. So I kind of just leave it up to him and give him the ideas of where I kind of want to play and where we should go. Most of the time, it's because I've seen something on Instagram. I'm like, that looks really cool. We should go see that, and we
Right.
try and work out our journey that way.
Well, Dad having a degree or diploma in logistics, I mean, no wonder he's your dadager.
Yeah, he's very handy.
I think you should start a business. Yeah, Gerald, mind you, I think he's probably busy enough organising your travel and tours, but yeah, yeah, there's an opening there, possibly.
Sure.
Dadager Incorporated.
I'll have to mention that to him. You never know. We could start something.
You
It
could
might be
start
fun.
something. Yeah, yes. Look, I'm seeing it. So, you have this song out now, 2 Feet. Are you looking ahead to some more releases?
Yeah, definitely. Not for this year. I think one release was stressful enough, to be honest. I've been so busy being on the road that I haven't really put much thought into releasing this year. But I am in the recording studio quite a lot. I do have 3 other songs ready to go. A little just to let you know that I do have new music in the works. I'm not slacking on that, but I am really focusing on releasing an album. And what I really wanted to do was release a 10-track, fully self-written album as a debut. So I'm working really hard on getting that one finished for some point next year.
Well, it sounds like you are well on your way and you have a lot to keep you going in the meantime. Sally, it's been so lovely to talk to you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thanks for supporting Australian country music.
My absolute pleasure. See ya.